What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor and welcome to the channel. Godzilla x Kong The New Empire smashed its way into theaters this past weekend, absolutely dominating at the box office, and also made for the 5th movie inside the Monsterverse. Today, we're ranking all 5 of these movies from my least favorite to my favorite. Jump your way down below in the comment section. What is your favorite of these Monsterverse movies, and what did you think of Godzilla x Kong The New Empire? Let me know that down below. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Let's hop in this start at number 5. And coming in last place, going to be Godzilla King of the Monsters. I was through the roof excited for this one. It was one of my more anticipated movies of the year that this one came out. And I came out incredibly disappointed. It made my disappointing list of that year as well. They have such a good concept. Godzilla versus all these mad titans. And they focus 95% of the movie on these human characters who are so deathly boring. Millie Bobby Brown does her best, but even she can't save it because the story of the human characters was just awful. When Godzilla and these monsters were fighting, which wasn't often, but when they did, it was pretty cool. But they also did this thing where it felt like it was us in there watching Godzilla fight up here. That's great and all. I want to see wide shots of Godzilla and these titans just going at it, and it felt like you're under them the entire time. And you just really had boring human characters with not that much to do. They wanted you to get emotionally attached, but you really couldn't. So Godzilla King of the Monsters might be a hot take, but it's in last. I will say, though, the visuals, absolutely stunning. At number 4 is Godzilla vs. Kong. This one is fun when they have those moments of Godzilla and Kong fighting, but they also focus on the human characters so much throughout this, and I understand you have to have those human characters throughout these movies, but these human characters were not interesting whatsoever. So you're focusing on these characters that you just don't give two craps about, and then when Godzilla and Kong are fighting, I was Team Kong. It was awesome. It was epic. But then you go down this whole 30-minute subplot of Kong going to get a weapon from Hollow Earth. Very cool, but also seemed to take away from the overall story. But again, Godzilla and Kong fighting at the end of this movie, and Godzilla ultimately beating Kong's ass. I was a little butthurt about it, I'm not gonna lie. There's moments to enjoy with this one, more so than King of the Monsters. Nonetheless, I found myself definitely a little bit disappointed with this one as well. At number 3 is Godzilla. I would say from this point on, I'm pretty positive on all these movies. I enjoy them all quite a bit. Godzilla 2014, Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson. You have human characters done right. I saw this movie twice in theaters in 2014. One of those movies I just really liked. As I go back and rewatch it now, it's a little bit slower. Nonetheless, there are just things to enjoy with this one because there was almost like that horror element because Godzilla wasn't on screen all that much. But when he was menacing, he was scary. It was done and handled very well. So when I remember watching this movie in theaters, the 2 times I did, I was so almost spooked and freaked out by the idea that Godzilla is out there somewhere. Bryan Cranston, fantastic performance. Aaron Taylor Johnson, one of the more underrated actors today. Not too much Godzilla action, but when they have it, I thought it was handled very well. I think this one's very underappreciated. At number 2, Godzilla x Kong The New Empire. The more I think about this movie, the more it grows on me. Now, you do have the same human characters pretty much from Godzilla vs. Kong. Are they enjoyable? They are more enjoyable in this movie than they were in the previous one. It's like the only direct sequel throughout any of these movies of the Monsterverse. And this one really focuses on Kong throughout this entire one. You go back into Hollow Earth, Kong finds more Kongs, more other apes out there, and they find the Scar King, who's a pretty good villain. They have this whole freezing dinosaur thing that Scar King controls. When I was watching, I was like, man, this is dumb, but give me more, shoving popcorn in my mouth, and I enjoyed it. I had fun while watching this one. The human characters are entertaining. Dan Stevens is pretty good. Brian Tyree Henry is pretty funny. The human characters, again, are focused on a lot. It seems to be kind of the tail of the tape with these movies. And the human characters aren't all that interesting. There is more to enjoy with these ones. And also, there's a Volkswagen commercial throughout this movie. Never thought I'd see that, but when I did, I was like, that's bizarre. But nonetheless, there's some really cool moments to enjoy with this one. Kong goes out to get Godzilla to help him fight. Godzilla's pink. I mean, he got the Barbie flare, and Godzilla and Kong are teaming up to fight Scar King. I mean, it was epic. It was action-packed. There was several times where I was just cheesing, having a good time. Honestly, the more I think about this one, the more I enjoy it. It's like a 3.5 out of 5. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But at number 1, Kong Skull Island. This, in my opinion, is a very good movie, and the first time I watched it, I thought that, and I'm just a big Kong fan, and the reason I like Kong so much is because he seems like a bro. He's one of those bros that just hangs out, hangs with the boys, and you guys are just chilling. You might crack a brisket, maybe 2, and that's what Kong feels like throughout this one. When you're on Skull Island itself, we've seen it with Peter Jackson's movie back in the early 2000s, And you're back with this one. I like the idea of Skull Island. It's scary. There's so much going on throughout it. The action is great. The soundtrack is great. The cast is great, from Brie Larson to Tom Hiddleston. You have a fantastic cast throughout this one. And Kong has those epic action-packed Kong moments that at the end of the day, Kong Skull Island's a movie I defend. It's a movie I really enjoy. I wouldn't say I love it, but I really, really enjoy it. And for people that hate on it, you're wrong, because that dude is getting freaking blown up in the wall is absolutely hilarious. And Kong Skull Island is my favorite of the Monsterverse movies. Let me know your ranking of all 5 Monsterverse movies down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one.